James here from JVC Paints. You might be wondering what I'm doing outside on this beautiful day wearing a wizard hat. But today what I'm doing is for Tales of the Tabletop, started by British Legion, Nick over there. I thought I'd go back to a less panic time, 2007, when magic and chaos ruled my hobby days instead of Stugs and MG42s. What I'm going to do, what I'd like to do today is I'm going to show you some of the models I rocked when I was rampaging across the blood-stained frozen tundras of Kazakhstan way back when, and give you the one story that sort of stands out. So yeah, let's go check it out. I want to show you this army. I was really into painting them, and some of my best work. So yeah, let's go check it out. Here's a book I'm sure a lot of you guys will remember, recognize. It's Warhammer Fantasy Battles 7th edition by Alessio Cavatore. In my opinion, this is the best version of Warhammer that was ever produced. I played 3 or 4 different versions of it, or editions of it. This was my favorite. This is the one I got most into, so I'm really into it, or I was really into it, I should say. I kept all my models. I didn't sell them, so this is just a small part of my Chaos Army. Let's just give you a quick pan. I've got way more stuff. I think I have the largest Chaos Army, or Khorne Chaos Fantasy Battle Army, probably in all of Asia. Let me just move this camera a little bit, get it centered on the general. So I'll go into the story, and then I'll give you a little bit about the army itself here. So basically, this is my general. He was an exalted champion of chaos. He's on a steed, and the story, or the idea, was that he was a Bretonnian knight that became, a follower of chaos. So his name was Derleman le Penitent. And to keep up with that theme, as you can see here, I've got 2 man-at-arms units that I used to run as marauders. So I was in a tournament. It was probably mid-2007, probably the summer. And I was in the second game. I'd drawn in the first game, and in the second game, I was up against a guy who had vampire counts. And, it was all the zombies and ghouls and skeletons, and I was just getting march blocked, and nothing was working. And I was like, oh, my chariot had failed, or one of my chariots here in the back had failed their test. And I guess it was turn 3, and I was like, okay, I think I'm within, the 14 inches or whatever I needed to get to his general, who was a vampire lord, all magicked up. And basically I zipped in there, and I had the initiative, because I had charged. And so I think the steed had something like 3 attacks. The character, the guy, he had something, he was frenzied, all that baloney. So he had something like 6 attacks. So I had I'm going to say 8 or 9 attacks. And I rolled, and I rolled 6s to wound. Or no, was it? I think. Oh, jeez, it's been a long time since I played. Maybe it's just 6s to hit. But I think it's 6s to hit or 6s to wound. But I think it's 6s to wound. I think. And I had killing blow. So basically, we went through the whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, I got this save and that save, whatever." And we got down to the wire. It was just like, "Dude, you're out of saves. He's dead. There's nothing. Oh, he's gonna regenerate. No, you can't. Other tournaments I've been to, people start to freak out, and there are some bad sports. But Albert, I think his name was Albert, he's an older guy. Yeah, he was just like, yeah, you got me. That was it. So I killed his general, and then basically the next, couple of turns, I think by turn 5, everything had just sort of dissipated into the mist. And yeah, I'd won, which was great in a way, but it was a Pyrrhic victory, because then in the next round, I was sort of up against, some better players. And I got my ass handed to me in that next game. I mean, it was pretty rough. But I had a good time, and it's just one of those things that I remember playing this game, that I was sort of on the ropes, and then I did that long shot Hail Mary pass into the end zone with a unit, and that was my general of all things. Sort of, it was kind of, I don't know, it's Warhammer. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the army too. So, I'll talk to you about the general. He was a Bretonnian guy who started to follow Khorne. He's a pretty cool figure. I made this guy. That's the Pegasus horse. I did some heraldry. Did some heraldry on the side here, and I've got all kinds of versions of this guy. I got a version of this guy on a juggernaut. I got just a version of him just standing, leading Chaos Warriors. I got him riding a dragon. But this was the one that was in that tournament. Saruman the Black Hair was a level 2 wizard. I gave him Frodo the Fallen as his familiar. He just basically had dispel scrolls. It was just a little bit of insurance. It was kind of cool though. I painted, the little globe in his hand as Jupiter. So the standard bearer guy, this standard is from the back of the Realms of Chaos book, or I don't know if it's from the back, but it's one of the standards that was in that book, and I copied it as best I could. So for the army standard guy. And then let me just move the rule book here. I'll just show you what I usually had. We'll start here, right to left. So here's the Chaos Warriors, 15 guys. They were pretty sick back in the day. The chaos armor and shield, double hand weapons, and frenzy and banners and all that stuff. So they were they weren't a Death Star unit, but they were pretty tough. They were pretty tough. Next to them, pardon me. Next to them was I remember I'd seen the movie 300 and I was like, I went mental. So I made this huge block of guys, and basically they're just a giant block of marauders. They don't have, I don't think they had shields. I think they just had hand weapons. But the thing is that I painted them so well, and there were so many of them, people just stayed away from them. But honestly, I think that they were only like, I forget how many points. They were like 5 points per guy, times 5. You know, they were like 125. I think it topped off at about 150 points. It was a really cheap unit, but people were so scared of it. Of course, we have next to him the battle standard. I don't remember if I ever gave it any magical properties, because I'm one of these guys who I like to get guys on the field. So I kind of probably just skimped on that, but it looked impressive. And that was one of the things I noticed at Warhammer, is that the better that something was painted, the more panic it would ensue against, you know, for your opponent. Behind the general here, this was one of my first meat shield units. They were 75 points. They were nothing special, and I would just basically march them straight, like right at the enemy, and then I would have either the Chaos Warriors or some Knights or something like that behind them. And basically, I just let these guys get chewed up, run away, and then boom, you know, one of my bigger units was right in there. Behind them, I proxied the Beast Gore chariots instead of the regular Chaos Chariot at the time, because these were just way better models. Yeah, I tried to run 2. I usually use them to sort of smash up the guy's front, or take out a flank with them. Then we have a spawn. You know, you have to have a spawn. They're always fun. We've got the puppies. Can't leave home without the puppies. And then I've got 2 of the Marauder units here. And kind of interesting, I'm just going to take out the guys here. I'm kind of proud of these guys. These are some guys I did a long time ago. So I mentioned in my last video about my buddy Kev, and was one of my gaming friends from a long time ago. These ones here, I'm going to see if I can bring this one up. This is my buddy Wade. He was kind of chubby, but I kind of, you know, I took the Friar character, and I made him Wade. So we have Wade. Wade is leading those guys, and he had a special thing here in the back. We called it the Bong of Flight. Those were the days. And then my other buddy Thomas, he was another guy that was a good friend of mine for gaming, stuff like that. I still contact with these guys, but sadly I haven't seen them in over a decade. But yeah, guys, that's my tale for the tabletop. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. You got plenty of toilet paper, masks, hand sanitizer, canned food, and that panic is minimum wherever you are. So guys, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thanks very much, and keep those brushes moving. Bye-bye.